What's up? We are back. Episode number 283. Oh,
Gee,
you missed your cue there, John.
283.
283.
That's a
And
lot.
we don't have a topic today. We have a special guest instead, Steve Murphy of Rotting Corpse and other bands, which we will probably get into, I'm sure. But before we get into all that, let's do our normal things. And I'm sure everybody's got some shout outs. So why don't we start with Steve, and then we'll go counterclockwise, and I'll end, and then we'll get into talking to Steve. Got anything you want to?
Shout
Oh,
out.
sorry.
You've
Go ahead,
kind of
Steve.
put me on the spot. Can I be last on this?
Yes, I'm sorry. We have two Steves. We have Steve.
Oh, Steve. Okay, so
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna.
I'll be Metal
Yep.
Murph tonight. So
You got Metal Murph. Sounds good to me. Go ahead,
Not
Steve.
too
Sorry.
much- Not too much to shout out. We were talking before the show. I hit up Dream Theater, saw them on Sunday night. Really killer seeing them play some of their early stuff again. Thursday, going to see Priest and Alice Cooper. Unfortunately, COC dropped off the tour, so it's going to be Fozzy now, which I'm not really interested in. But
We've
it
tried
is
to
what
get
it
him on
is.
the show a couple of times, and he's been all gung ho, and then just backs out at the last minute.
Who's that?
Fozzy.
I might be
Judge
able to get
Jericho.
Eric. I'm trying to get Eric on the show because he was also in Stuck Mojo.
Yeah,
And I think we have a good chance of getting him.
Right on. And we have a bunch of Stuck Mojo reissues coming out next year.
Yeah, that's
on
why
vinyl.
I'm trying to set it up with him and get. Yeah, so that's
Right
pretty
on.
much it. No shout outs.
We got I Am the King of Texas with us already. What's up? Shout outs AVJR, Damien Hair Metal, Tony Clem.
Yep.
So yeah, we're starting to get some people coming in. Everybody welcome. John, what you got? Anything interesting?
No. Shout out to Rodney over at County Line Records. He's going to help reduce my back stock of stereo stuff, and plus he's got a whole line of new stereo equipment coming in, Cerwin Vega, Yamaha, and some other stuff that's a little more affordable than Advanced Paris and some of the other higher end brands. So go by and check him out. I've been helping out over at Born Late, over at the Jam Space, and over at the store, and it's always fun to find new stuff buried literally and figuratively in the mayhem over there. But other than that, I'll see Tony Reed and Scooter from Moss Generator. They're playing at Ripple Fest this weekend with the return of the Mighty Mothership, and Wofat will be there. So Steph and I are going to drive down to Austin as Tony and Scooter's guest, and we'll see John O'Garrett, the mighty drummer from Turbid North, and should be kind of a fun time. Hang out with them a little bit and come on back and get those guys on an airplane back to Seattle. But, other than that, it's just been busy. It's been a weird couple of weeks, and just kind of trying to ride the train here, a train of chaos. Trying to bury my sorrows in music.
Right on. Well, I got a few new records came in the mail this week, and I thought I'd show real quickly, but I already got to play this one once, and this is great. The new Void just came out. I just literally received it yesterday, but I got a chance to play it for a little bit today. Forbidden Morals, 2024 thrash metal. Kind of reminds me on the first listen of bands like Agent Steel and Toxic and Realm. That kind of where it's fast and thrashy, but it's got the more melodic, clean vocals. The dude's not using the kind of hardcore shouts. He's more singing, which I kind of dug. I also got this in the mail finally, which I pre-ordered, and it finally arrived. Patriarchs in Black Home with our good friend. And I go to say his name and I forget it. I do that all the time.
Dan Lorenzo and
Thank
John
you.
Kelly.
Yeah, Dan Lorenzo from, of course, everybody knows him from Hades, and this is his fourth album, I believe, fourth full-length album. Plus, they have the EP, and they got a new album coming out beginning of 2026 too. So, I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I've heard some of the songs because Dan's been sending me tracks, and then finally, the new Iced Earth EP, which is called Hell Rider, which I pre-ordered this from Amazon. The first one came, and I ended up getting a rap album instead, which I got The Stakes is High by De La Soul.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
And
that's not quite like Iced Earth, but okay.
so I did a return, asked them to send me another one, and they sent me a second one, and I opened the box up, and it was Stakes Are High by De La Soul again. So I canceled the order the second time, and then told them to refund my money, and then I rebought the album, and they finally got me the correct one. So ridiculous. Anyhow, that's it.
Speaking of Stakes Are High, and so am I. It's in the air tonight. How about this? Pick this up this week. Ted Nugent, Free for All.
Oops.
And it's the
Nice. It's the repressing and the remaster.
Yeah, it's the repressing, and it's on. It says forest green, but it's just Kelly green. It looks like regular green, but man, I forgot how good this thing is, and it really sounds good. I mean, it got a little bit of it got like a Rob Colwell upgrade on the sound. So
yeah.
Anyway,
little Meatloaf on vocals for some of the tracks. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Derek St. Holmes sang on one, and Ted sang on two. But in any case, before we get to our special guest, we got one more matter of business we need to take care of.
The pick of the week.
What you got for us, John?
Well, I went completely off the rails with this pick. I got a rock pick and a metal pick, but my rock pick is pretty obscure. But I had one listen today while I was working at the Jam Space, and I was hooked. And these guys put out 2 albums in the mid '90s, and just recently put one out, I think 2023. But Sugar Tooth. And I don't know if you've ever heard this.
I have one of their cassettes, actually.
Well, this is the first album, and I'm telling you, speaking of Ted Nugent, his guitar tone and leads are very Nugent-esque, like circa the first Stranglehold or basically the first and second records. But quirky melodies, killer drumming, kind of a Tool-like vocal, but not so whiny. But the guitar tone has some real beef to it. The drum sound is incredible. So if you can find this Sugar Tooth, man, just pick it up. It's that good. It's really, really, really good.
That's a mid '90s release.
94, and then and it's on a fairly sizable label. The what is it? David Geffen. It's on Geffen Records, and then their second one is from '96, and it's produced by the same guy that produced the Beastie Boys, and so don't let that scare you either, because it's different, but it's real. It's like Sugar Tooth. I'm curious about the third one, but if you can find it, pick it up, man. It's worth it. It was a shocker. It was like one listen, and Henry Vasquez even told me, he says, if you like it after one listen, spin it a couple more times and you'll like it even more. So my metal pick, I'm going a weird format today. Cassette. How about this? CD in a long box. Municipal Waste.
Great album.
Electrified Brain. This is the last thing that they put out, I think 2020. It's been a while since they put out a new record, and I'm really ready for a new Municipal Waste. So I hope they do something soon. But I actually have the record on several different colors. I have the tape, and I have the CD in the long box. And I don't know, man. It's hard to argue with these guys. I know that some people think that they have a couple of stinkers in there, but I don't think they do. I think they're a ripping, great crossover thrash band. So, Sugar Tooth, Municipal Waste, pick them now. Go.
Right on. I'm slacking here. Sorry.
Yep. I know.
All right. So anyhow,
that's funny.
We got a lot of people chiming in. Got some people commenting on Sugar Tooth. Anyhow,
Yeah.
and municipal waste. A lot of municipal waste comments all of a sudden. So, anyhow, let's get into it then. Let's get into talking to Metal Murph, which we're going to call him tonight, so we don't mix up the two Steves.
Yeah. Well, Steve and I go back a ways, and he's been in all sorts of bands, including one of my favorites, Rotting Corpse. You know, we collaborated on the cover art for that, and that was a fun project. And they're actually kind of getting some traction. They're playing some shows, and I'm going to let Steve tell you about that because they've got a huge one coming up this weekend. Go ahead, Steve.
I'm not sure I'd call it traction, but we're playing shows though, and people seem to be enjoying it. So
Well, you're not sliding off the interstate anymore. You're kind of staying between the lines a little bit. And
stay in between lines. I have two questions from the intro, but with Born Late, Carcass, are you the backup so that John Perez can go on tour with her tour manager?
Well, that has been bandied around.
Okay.
So I know that John just got back from South America.
Yeah, he was in
with
Brazil.
Candlemass.
I asked him a question. He's like, I'm in Brazil. And I was like, I'm impressed. So it's,
Yeah, they were in South America with Candlemass. And despite the level 3 travel warning,
yeah.
I guess he even had to go to Mexico to get his visa stamped because nobody in the States would do it. But he came back safely, and he said it was pretty spectacular.
Cool. So my second question from the intro is, Hades, is that the band from, like, weren't they from Jersey or something?
Yeah.
And they
that was the same band that Watchtower Vocals was in. So Dan Lorenzo was the guitar player.
Alan. So I did have that demo before that. What were they on? Were they on New Renaissance or were they something else? I can't remember.
Something else. Yeah, they were on New Renaissance.
A small one, but I had the demo because we did like Cerebral Devastation, and then we did Gray Matter. You know, the members of Eldritch Rite. So we would get all these tapes for free, pretty much. And I remember liking it. And so this is my seeing if Waltz is listening to the podcast or not moment. But anyway, we were outside and he was working on his band, and I was talking about Hades. And Walt, I guess, saw it written down. He goes, "Hey, you like that band Hades?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Hades, man, that band Hades." And I go, "You mean Hades?" So
that sounds like Walt.
Anyway, so we'll see if Walt's listening, if I get in trouble for repeating that story. So,
right on.
So anyway, talk about Saturday, because it's going to be a barn burner.
Yes, Saturday's going to be a trip. We got asked to play, open up for the Great Watchtower. It'll be Saturday at the Rail Club. I'm trying to think when the first band plays. I think we're going to go on around 10-ish. And Watchtower around 11, somewhere around those points. But get there early because we have some great opening bands. Accuser, Odious, some young thrashers that are really, I mean, it's amazing. We played with these guys and they're playing the songs that Rotting Corpse and Eldritch Rite played in 85 and 86. Some of the, like, Nasty Savage and SOD and Slayer, first album Slayer. There's some really great kids that do that. And then of Deities and Dust, which is Steve Johnson's band, and he was in Hyde back in the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember them. Can't remember if they had a demo or not, but I guess they were Joe's Garage Band stuff, but he's one of the opening bands. And so we're going to have the Great Watchtower, and it's pretty cool. For Rotting Corpse opened up for Watchtower in 1986 at the Continental Club, and then I wasn't playing with Rotting Corpse at that point. It was another year before I joined them, but I did open up for Watchtower during this original Watchtower period with a band that I had, Eldritch Rite, and Eldritch Rite, we opened up for them at the Tombstone, and I think Warlock was on that show too. But that was a great show, and I actually have some pictures from that. that I can't find. I've been trying to, if I'm lucky, maybe I'll dig some of those pictures up of a very young Jason McMaster, you know. So it's amazing we were young like that at one point. But 40,
Was that Warlock? Was
40
that Warlock?
years ago, dude. Fucking
40 years ago. That's amazing.
40,
Well,
dude.
is that Warlock with Rick Perry of Gamma Side, War Beast, and Iron Jaw fame?
Yes, the original gutter rat at that point. The Jerry would put Warlock on the best shows, and we lucked out and got to open up for Watchtower because Chris Orlowski, the original singer of Eldridge Wright, had quit, and Buddy Forsythe joined the band, and he was in Scythian Oath. And so, anyway, so Buddy and Jason were good buddies, and that helped us get to open up for Watchtower. So I'm eternally thankful for Buddy for that, but I'm still miffed that he never learned any of our lyrics from any of our songs that he would sing. It's always kind of fun live, you know. But he would make up new lyrics, I think, every show. So
Right on. I'm searching around because I have over here somewhere. I've got the Dark Angel Rotting Corpse poster that I've had for 20 years.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the reunion stuff back in what 05, 06?
Yeah, we still got some of those walls. Stepfather worked at a printing. He was like vice president at printing. And he made like 1 million of those things. And we sell them at shows. If you want one, come up to me. It's crazy. We were in San Antonio and I sold one to somebody and they wanted us to sign it. And I felt like I was desecrating it because the thing's 1987, you know, it's like, but I always feel weird. Like when people come up and ask me to sign it. You know, even the demos re-release we just did, I feel weird about signing it, but it's
Shouldn't
cool.
feel weird, man. You were part of that. I remember you playing a show. What was then the White Rabbit? It's now changed over to the Paper Tiger.
Yes.
But you opened for Hellstar and what was that? Oh, doggone it! I can't remember that power metal band that also played.
Oh, before the show, was it like Phantom X or somebody?
Phantom X, yeah, Phantom
Yeah,
X, Rotting Corpse, Hellstar, and then I think there might have been another band.
Right. And so before that show, and it was so hot, I felt like I was melting on stage. I literally felt like I was melting. And Walt's guitar caught on fire. And we had this one guy came and roadied with us, and things were catching on fire, and he was freaking out. And I'm kind of like, dude,
How the heck did that happen?
It was so hot, and he had it cranked so loud that it just overheated and lit up on fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was a special show because Luke Brewer played lead guitar on that.
Oh, that's right.
That's before we had John Perez and Scott Shelby come back for lead. But the other thing about that show that cracks me up, two things I remember. We were backstage. Like the other thing is I probably played like 1,000 shows. And I bet I've been backstage like 3 times. Like typically we don't get backstage, or I just don't go backstage, whatever. But we were backstage at that show in San Antonio, and the Phantom X guys had this long, beautiful hair, and their girlfriends were combing their hair to get it to the perfect kind of beautiful thing. And I thought, God, you some bitches shouldn't be on the show with Rotting Corpse. But anyway.
And as soon as they got out of the heat, it was just going to curl and frizz anyway.
Yeah. The other funny thing about that story is after we played, there was another opening band, like a young band from San Antonio, and the guy came up. One of the members came up to me. He goes, "Man, I'm so glad to get to play with you." And I go, "Why, man?" He goes, "You guys are thrash legends." And I was like, "Dude, I do IT, but." Anyway,
I do like tea.
So, but no, I mean, but that's the funny thing. That was our first reunion stuff. That was 2006. And the funny thing is, I don't think we realized how much Rotting Corpse really resonated with people. I mean, I think even this record release on Turkey Baster Records has kind of shown us like people remember the Corpse, and for some reason they want to hear the Corpse. I mean, so we keep playing, and we're excited about the Watchtower show, and we have like other shows coming up. Should I go into those or talk about?
Yeah, but before you do, tell them about the special deal you're offering for this show at the Rail Club on Saturday with Odious and Accuser and Deities and Dust, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so I want to repeat a message from Rahan, the Wrath of Khan, who is the promoter of this show of After Dark Productions. And he wants to tell everyone that tickets are now $25 instead of $30. So he's got kind of the deal going. So you can get in there and get a good deal. But the other thing the Wrath of Khan has given us is 5 free tickets. So we were talking about this before the show, and what we're going to do is have people write a small essay in the comments, and the person that has the longest essay will win a ticket. And you can't use Chat GPT, you can't use Perverse. I think Perversity is the one I used. No, that's a joke. The first 5 people that comment, is it people that have already commented, or how are we doing this?
No, if first people that comment and say, I want a ticket because I want to go to the show or something like that.
Okay, no. Here's the deal. You got to say Jason McMaster is still a sexy SOB. If you say that,
Okay.
something about Jason McMaster still being sexy. I mean, he's still got the hair. He still can. I mean, he does Watchtower. He does Dangerous Toys. He does Broken Teeth, which is probably my favorite of his bands.
Are they still doing Evil
Great.
United?
Huh?
Evil United?
Igniter, I love Igniter too. They opened up for us at the first show back at the Continental Club. I love Sad Wings. Sad Wings.
Man, I've pimped his Sad Wings project. Is that he and his brother?
No.
Or-
It's I'm trying to think okay, so it's Bat Lord from Agony Column, who also plays in Igniter, is one of the guitar players.
Okay.
The other guys, but I'm going to tell you this: Sad Wings is better than Judas Priest right now. Period.
Whoa, hot sports
Yes.
opinions.
Yes. And I'm going to say this because the Bat Lord and the other guitar player trade off the leads just like Priest did. But now Judas Priest is just what's that guy's name? Bobby or whatever, or Robbie?
Or Richie Faulkner.
Richie. And the other dude just stands there and they give him like one solo a set, which I still love Judas Priest and I love watching Rob Halford in slow motion. But I just got to say, Jason and the group and the drums and bass are so tight, dude. Me and Walt and the Grib went and saw them about a month or 2 ago. They were playing in Pflugerville. And you're the tops when you play Pflugerville.
Of course.
Anyway, so we got 5 people yet. I want to see if 5 people.
Well, I can vouch for Sad Wings, and they are that good. They would rival. They are so good, and
they may
play
not be Priest.
They play early
They are
stuff.
the best cover band of Judas Priest, and Jason just is Jason, and he brings it, and he does his thing, and
Is he speaking of cover band? Oh, not cover bands, but is he still doing the San Antonio Slayer thing too?
Oh yeah. I haven't seen him with that, but yeah, he's apparently.
Yeah, I want to see
they
that.
Were good. They at Hell's Heroes. They were really, really good.
Yep. I'll tell you another funny. Can I tell you a Jason McMaster story? And I told him,
Yeah, absolutely.
he didn't remember this. So in 1986, me and Craig from the Nowhere Jets, we went down and hung out with Jason, which he didn't have a car, and I remember us driving him around and taking him to Whataburger and stuff like that. And on that trip, I remember buying, and I still have it. It's like one of the only records vinyl I have from the 80s. I bought a Watchtower Energetic Dissembly from him. And then Craig bought a Militia, one of the EPs. And like a dumbass,
EP?
he bought it from Jason. Jason had some from, I guess Mike had given him some. And dude, it was like $5 something. And I was like, I don't want that, Anyway, talking about bad decisions. But so we were hanging around with Jason. It's like really cool. And we got to go see him practice with Billy White playing guitar. They were very loud. And we were just like little kids just going, oh. But at one point, Jason used to be really big into trading. I don't know if he's a trader anymore. But he was like, dude, I had this Nasty Savage shirt from the first album I bought when we saw him at the Tombstone in '85. And so he's like, dude, you want to trade your Nasty Savage shirt? And I'm like, all right, dude, I'll trade you. And he goes, what for? So he gave me a Watchtower shirt with cut-off sleeves that was signed by Celtic Frost. And he also gave me a bunch of pictures of S.A. Slayer that he's like, dude, you want these S.A. Slayer pictures? And I don't think I've really gotten into them yet, even though I used to see Prepare to Die at Bill's Records, probably for $5. And of course, I didn't buy one back then too. But yeah, and I told him that story, and he's like, anyway, he's famous, so he shouldn't remember this.
Well, and the reason why not purchasing that Militia EP was such a not a very good decision is because why? Because they go for about $3,000 now. I think there were 100 pressed. I think Rodney Dunsmore has 13 of them.
Probably.
And but those things go for just stupid cheddar. It's ridiculous. But
so a side story on that, yeah, it was about 100, right? And I've actually become friends with Mike Solis, the singer of Militia, and he does not have a copy of that. So,
well, he needs to go to Rodney. Rodney will give him one, I bet. Or
Rodney's like the Godfather. What kind of thing can you do?
What can I get you there?
Do this, you get a Militia EP. So, so I'm going to skip around. Can I talk about upcoming shows? Did we get the
come up?
tickets
Yeah,
away?
let's do it.
So since I brought up Militia, I'm skipping to November. So the Saturday right after in San Antonio, this will happen at Fitzgerald's. The Saturday after Thanksgiving, which I think is November 29th, Rotting Corpse will play with Militia and Valkyrie, and at Fitzgerald's. So I think we're all pretty excited about that because that's about as old school as you can get there. I guess we got S.A. Slayer to be a little more old school, but it's still a pretty exciting show. So mark that on your calendars. I expect all the S.A. boys to get out there. So that'll be cool.
That's the 29th of November, San Antonio, Rotting Corpse, Valkyrie, and Militia.
Yep.
Let's mention that Valkyrie was also on the Texas Metal Archives comp that John Perez and I put together about 10 years ago. Well, gosh, I guess it's been about 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
And man, there's so much music history here in Texas. People, I don't think, understand how thick the book really is of metal history. It's not just Pantera and Hellstar. It's way, way, way more than that. But
and I still think Choosers of the Slain is one of my favorite demo era songs that I remember listening to. That Scythia Knows demo and then the Valkyrie demo, I remember listening to over and over again. Stuff was just like, we knew about Metallica, we knew about Slayer, the German thrash, all that, but man, the guys in Austin, after hanging out with Watchtower, were making some really cool proto thrash stuff like that. So,
well, even going back to DRI, people they got big on the New York scene, so people think they're from there, but
Austin,
they had their own scene down there.
Yep, and it's cool because in some ways Walt lives in Austin. And I'll go down and hang out with Walt quite a bit. And I feel like the Austin scene has kind of taken me under its arm. I mean, like I go to shows and everybody kind of knows me now and comes up and talks to me. And it's almost like Fort Worth and Austin, they're like, people are just excited that we're playing again, so it's, that's a cool thing. So the other show I wanted to bring up is on this month after Watchtower. What is that? September 26th, which is a Friday. We are playing at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, and this is a special show because we're doing it for Gary Hetrick. It's his birthday, and he goes by Header. And Gary was one of Walt's first friends, like they met in kindergarten or something like that. And they also grew up together with Mr. Dimebag Darrell. So. Come out to that, and I think it'll be a special, fun show. And opening up for us, we have the birth of a new band, a Black Sabbath cover band named, what are they calling it? Silverwomb, which is members of Odious and Accuser. So I'm kind of excited to see that. Isaiah, Alfredo, all those guys are coming in. Their new bass player, I don't know your name yet, but they're coming in. young thrash. So, and they're going to do some Sabbath and stuff like that. So that'll be the warm up for Header's birthday. I think there's free beer. He's getting Michelob or something like that. So,
And that's downtown Arlington, correct?
yeah, it's really close to City Hall, and it's right across the street from Kung Fu Tea. So you'll not
Okay.
that.
So is that near Division Brewery and all that stuff down that same area?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of close to Jay Gilligan's and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ground Records, we play there for stuff. But the other show that we've just gotten right before New Year's Eve show, it's so close to New Year's Eve that it's almost like a New Year's Eve show, December 27th. It's a Saturday in Austin, Texas. Rotting Corpse returns to the Continental Club. So we're playing there again. We've asked the Fixations to open up for us again. And we're going to have one or two other bands. I don't know. Mr. McMaster would show up with Sad Wings. He would make my heart. It would be my Christmas present, Jason. Sad Wings.
We'll make sure we advertise that.
Yes.
Evo's Christmas present would be Sad Wings.
Yes. Sometimes he'll say Igniter, and I'm like, that's cool, but Walt and I want Sad Wings. It's the only thing we want for Christmas. Walter Tratchler and me.
So keep your front teeth. Just bring Sad Wings.
Yeah. So anyway, I made that plea, and I don't know what. Ask me a question or something.
So okay, I'll ask you a question. When are you going to record new Rotting Corpse music?
Oh, so I'm gonna segue this in a little bit of a story. So I have been working on a new project, which is not thrash or metal, called Mick 25, and it's me and an older drummer, second drummer from Nowhere Jets, and he has a home studio. And we're up to 11 songs, and we're mixing those, and we're about to release those. So I have been nudging the Rotting Corpsers to like, hey, I've got a studio. We could go in and record, or let's do it the way we've been doing it in Gerald Irigori's home studio. So I'm pushing what I'm pushing for, saying all that, hopefully that, because I've been recording every week for like a year, is to get Rotting Corpse start recording wherever we do it. I don't care. I just want us to start. And Mr. John Perez is even working on original compositions of his own to throw into this. So he's thinking very primal, very 1984.
I can confirm that those words actually flowed forth from his mouth, that he is working on new Rotting Corpse music.
He kind of flared his hair while he said it.
He did, and kind of tossed it back behind him.
It kind of like, I can do no wrong. I'm John Perez, and
well, it's Rotting Corpse though, and it's probably easier for him to come up with a riff for Rotting Corpse than it would be to some intricate 7-minute song with Robert Lowe adjusting his mascara and his cape.
Yeah. Well, capes are important.
Capes are important.
But anyway, so my hope is we start recording, and it's a hope and a prayer. But what I've talked to potentially doing a split 7-inch to get us started with the recording with this band called Gamacide. And I was thinking about like Rotting Corpse on one side, a song or two, and on the other side, we have Gamacide. And Scott and Rick have given me a general thumbs up, and Walt's cool about it. So it's just basically, we just need to get in the studio, get some stuff mixed and mastered, and then do that, because I don't think we'd have a hard time finding a little label to put that out. So.
I wonder who that could be. Well, I'm telling you, talk about All I Want for Christmas. If Gamacide and Rotting Corpse continued on forward into the night, into 2026, and they were writing new music, that would be a worthy Christmas ask, I think. So
yeah, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I just keep nudging and pushing, and hopefully it'll come together. And I really feel like Randy's playing some of the best drumming of his career. I mean, I'm very thankful. Look back, and I mean, people don't realize, like, when you play thrash, like, it's all over the place. And me and Randy have been playing together for 40 freaking years, and it's just something about when we lock in, and that's great. I want to capture that. I feel like Walt's guitar playing is still solid. at the Ben and Homer benefit at the Rail. They did like Grid was playing drums and Walt was playing guitar and Mike from Chemicost and a couple other guys. They were doing a song and I was just like, man, Walt's guitar sounds great. You know, I was standing back watching it. I wasn't playing with them, and it just makes me feel like. And then you know, I think John Perez and I think Scott Shelby had a lot of great riffing left in them. You know, they do that thing. So I would. My hope is we can capture that in some chaotic metal form of early thrash, you know.
Well, if anybody has a chance to see either Gamicide and or Rotting Corpse, please go out of your way to do it, because it is if I can't believe that they haven't missed a step, but neither band. And John Perez is a complete madman, and you know, Shelby and Perry back together they're like it's like Brad Whitford and Joe Perry. I mean, it's like Holt and Hunolt. I think that that guitar duo holds up against just about anybody, but Rotting Corpse still sounds great.
KK and Tipton.
Did you see, were you at the tree show, the Gamicide tree show, Carcass?
Was that recent? No, that was
like a couple months ago or
something.
Oh,
yeah. We were there.
Yeah. So I really felt like Varnum was returning to the caged animal Varnum of Joe's Garage. Like the first couple things I'd seen, you can't just naturally get back into that. But at Trees, man, it sounded incredible. And Varnum was he was a beast again. And, Joey and Alan were just like that, and the one thing I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna say this is a negative, but man, people need to realize like it takes a lot for us in our I mean, I'm in my late 50s. Some of these guys in their 60s, like, don't take this for granted. We're not gonna be doing this for, I don't know, 5 more years. I mean, and we're doing it good. We're doing it hard, so you really need to come out and not think about coming out. Or thinking, well, I'll check them out in a year or two, because we just don't know. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And I'm amazed, Gamicide's about to go on this little tour up to New York, and they're playing, I think
I'll be seeing them here.
Yeah, they're going down, and they'll be down in Steve's neck of the woods in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And what are they doing, like 13 shows in 16 days or something like that? Or
amazing. And I mean, you guys need to get out, because they're who knows if they're going to come back to New York?
Yeah.
Just, or Houston, or San Antonio. You just can't assume it. Even with Corpse, man. I mean, something could happen and we might not be able to do it, or we get mad at each other, which happens in Rotting Corpse. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten mad at each other yet. But
yeah, it's been very calm in that camp. And we have our buddy Mark Chaos Massacre from down in Melbourne, Australia, asking where he can find current Rotting Corpse merch.
Yeah, so you could get it from me. What's going to be the tough thing is the shipping, and I can ship it to you, but it's going to be the price of the vinyl probably. So I guess, DM me on the Facebook or the Instagram, and we'll negotiate how to get that to you. And while you're at it, you should get a T-shirt, kind of like the new T-shirts, which this is a patch, but I have it right here. I just got these made, and I had Shiloh of the Despicables make them for me, and I had him copy one of my shirts from 1988. So that's old school looking. So we have old school shirts, and we still got vinyl, and I still have just a few of the yellow and red splatter. We're almost out of those guys. So, so plenty of red.
I shipped a Rotting Corpse to Australia, and it was $35
for shipping, or.
Yeah, for shipping, and I don't even know if it got there. I haven't heard back.
So for the Australian guy, I'll do $20 on top of the 35, or whatever that.
Okay.
My math is not that good because I
mentioned it before for demos. It sounds like a studio recording. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, we Turkey Baster Rick paid to have enormous store down in Austin. I think the guy's name's Jack Control, but he did a tremendous job with what we gave him. And he really made it sound good. I remember Carcass freaking out when I gave him. Didn't I give you one of the, what was it called? The test press?
copies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spun it and I kept spinning it over and over, and I was thinking I couldn't even tell where one demo went to the next demo because it's not well, it is, but isn't there there's like one demo plus a couple of tracks, and then it picks up on the other side and then goes to another demo and then an unreleased song.
I had to move it around. Technically, there's 4 different demos. And the first demo, which everyone kind of learned about Rotting Corpse, the first one, those 3 started. And then the second demo, and then I had to stick one of the shorter songs from the second demo on side B to make it fit, because demo 3 we did 90 in San Antonio, and that's like, what is that, 4 songs, and then the last song is from the ill-fated third demo that we never got to finish because Walt traded Vinnie Paul a boat for studio time at Pantigos Sound, and while they were recording it,
the boat sunk.
Vinny and Rex were on Lake, was it Lake Arlington or
yeah?
I always used to say Joe Pool, but anyway, they're out on the lake and it was cold and it sunk, and then Vinny got mad at Walt, which is hard to imagine anyone would get mad at Walt.
That's impossible to imagine.
I mean, I don't know, but I still remember that boat. Walt, we went and got it from his dad's, like he had a trailer home someplace. We went out there and it was kind of red. It was all cracked and stuff. And this is before Pantera was Cowboys from Hell, because they had to have the cracked boat back then. But I'm sure Vinny got nicer boats later on in his career.
Certainly not one from Walt.
No, I think he learned his lesson. But he did have Walt drive him around on the Damageplan tour right before, Dime, passed. And Walt always told me the reason they liked him because he didn't charge them that much. And they went out. I remember they went out on Damageplan, and that was the point where Dime and Luke from Rotting Corpse was actually on tour with them. Now, the funny thing, if anybody knows Luke was kind of a very interesting person, but he was not the most practical worker type person. So his job with Damageplan was mostly filling up the ice and getting drunk with Daryl in the morning. So they would get up, and apparently Walt would be driving the bus, and Daryl and Luke would be going, "Look at this," and he'd be going, and then he'd hand the guitar to Luke, and Luke would go like that, and they'd go back and forth. And the funny story is, Vinny's kind of the tougher of the two brothers, or was. Daryl was the nice guy, and Vinny was the tougher guy. But anyway, apparently, when Luke didn't come back on tour, Walt was like, Vinny got on the bus and they were leaving. There was no Luke because Luke had to stay home with his mom, which is another story. But Vinny's like, where's Gentleman Pump Jack? Daryl always gave everybody names, and Gentleman Pump Jack was Luke's name. And Walt's like, dude, he's not coming. Don't worry about it. And Vinny's like, well, dude, where's Gentleman Pump Jack? And he goes like, and Walt's like, what do you need him for? He goes, well, who's going to do the ice? So Vinny,
man, oh man.
But I guess that's the thing. Like, with
I forgot to do this.
It becomes like a family. Like, you just want people around. Luke was.
There you go. Sound effect in there.
So that was the Luke Ice story. I told that. So I think I've run out of stories. But I do want to mention that I did a release of the demos out of Europe on Vic Records, and we used Carcass's cover. And we actually added a few of the songs that couldn't fit from the vinyl because we only had 20 minutes aside, right? So there's some extra songs that the CD fixed. We redid the booklet. We updated the bio to add current history, and Ian Christie did a short bio for us. And that, I'm hoping, will be out pretty soon. And they promised me copies of that. So if I get some of those and you come to a show, maybe I'll have, because I have people asking for CDs. And at the first instance, you guys were showing me CDs. And the last time I came on the show, I was nowhere into CDs. And now I'm actually buying CDs again. I bought like a little cheap CD player off Amazon, and I plug it into my my record player, and I spin CDs. And I'm sad because I bought a new car that doesn't have an effing CD player.
They don't come with them anymore.
Yep.
That's-
USB, baby.
Through that.
I put one in my truck just so I could listen to CDs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of the
Bluetooth
CD.
or is it plugged in there? Because I can't do the Bluetooth thing. 'cause
No,
it's-
this is USB. It's got 3,000 songs on it, and you just plug it in and hit random. That's what I do.
Okay.
I don't. Gone are the days of carrying the tape bag or the CD bag or the CD book with 1,000 CDs. And
Well, I mean, John, when you were here, we were listening to the Voivod CD in my truck. Now I got in my center console, I bought like a little, it's made for cars, so it can bounce around and stuff, but it's in my center console, and I ran a cable to the backside of the USB and connected it through there. So,
Okay, but you left out which Voivod CD.
oh, which one were we listening? It was
might have been. It was early.
Roar.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't Dimension Hatros, because I would have remembered that.
no, it
Was
one
it
of the
Angel
newer
Rat?
ones. No, it was one of the newer ones. I got
The Wake.
Wait.
yes, there you go, the Wake.
Okay. I don't think I'm familiar with that, but
That's the most recent one, right?
No, it was a few records ago.
Well, it's a good one. I mean, oh, that's right. They've released a couple since then, but that's a good one.
No, it was Target Earth. That's what it was.
oh, okay.
Newer one, yeah. It's still a
I
great
will
album.
say the first 4 or 5 Voivod albums are like some of my favorite things.
Oh yeah.
to listen to. God, I mean, and don't they have the demo now? Like you can get that early demo, man. I listen to that and I'm just like,
You can even get it on cassette.
cassette.
Yep.
Hey, talking about cassette, this is something I actually talked to Carcass about, but I'm working with Conjuring Records in San Antonio, and we're going to release the first demo on Rotting Corpse first demo, not Voivod. I'm not touching Voivod, but we're going to do the first Rotting Corpse final on cassette, and then our last recording, we re-recorded the first demo because we thought that that's another story. A label was going to pick us up, but they didn't. And anyway, we're going to put the re-recorded songs from '90 on side B, and we're going to release that as a cassette tape. And it's funny, I never thought I'll be 58 this year that I'd be releasing cassettes again. So
Yep. Some people still buy them. They still make them.
There's a couple labels.
Savage Master did their most recent album on 8-track because people were asking.
8-track, dude.
Yeah.
There's a couple labels that I buy from in Russia that are exclusively cassettes, but they also send, if you buy the cassette, they send you the download code. So you're buying a physical product, but you still have the songs.
Too, on 8-track.
There you go.
That 8-track? What is that?
That's
Yep,
an 8-track.
Yep. 8-track.
I think there's going to be a small resurgence because I had my repair guy hit me up the other day, and Alberto said, "Why are people buying 8-tracks again?" He has a huge 8-track collection. He's been collecting, for 30 years, and he has a huge room that's got 8-tracks and cassettes and reel-to-reel still. But he's like, "Why are people buying 8-tracks?" I said, "I have no idea, man."
Yeah, I will not do the 8.
It's a terrible
clunk in the
format.
middle of it when it flips sides drives me crazy.
Hey, so I have a question since you guys are very deep audio file. I mean, listen to records is what I'm trying to say. But I was going to Kiss when they played in Fort Worth with my my boss, and he is a huge Kiss fan. And I was just streaming Kiss on the way there, and he's like, "Dude, this is not right. It doesn't sound right." Is there that big a difference on the stuff they're putting on streaming to some of the old stuff? Like if you listen to the record, he made it.
Well, a lot of the stuff on streaming is remixed, and you can
Yep.
definitely hear the difference. Like if you listen to the early Megadeth albums online or the early Ozzy albums online, they sound completely different because they've all been remixed, and the remixes aren't great.
And some of it's actually been re-recorded as well. So
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, because
So-
didn't Ozzy cut out all the Bob Daisley and the
Yep.
Leak or Salky and
Well, and
just-
even Mustaine went back and re-recorded some of the solos on the early albums too, and just kind of ruined it,
Yeah, I remember when CDs were first a thing and Combat reissued, or they put out a second run of the CDs, and I bought Exodus Pleasures of the Flesh because somebody had snatched my original CD, and the new improved one was not new and improved. It was brick walled, sounded hollow and tinny and just too bright, and I begged for someone to take it back and get me my old CD back. So I think they've gotten better at the remastered, reworked. I mean, we know somebody. In fact, the guy that you know Rob Colwell, Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, he does amazing work with.
He's amazing at
old
mastering.
beat up catalogs of music.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he's got an ear for it, and it's not just. Some people think that loud is better. Not all of the time.
It's not just loud; it's super compressed. And
Yeah.
you know, a lot of these remixes, they compress the shit out of it, and it just you know, and you even hear it. Some of the I don't remember what it was. One of the Mastodon records. Mastodon's all their CDs are super compressed, and they did a different mix of the vinyl, and it was a totally different sound for the same songs. So.
Yeah.
It's not the media. It just comes down to the mastering. The guys.
Yeah, it's the mastering or the mix or
compress the shit out of it.
Like you guys know I'm a huge Angel fan, and there is no CD available of the original mix of Hell of a Band. None. All the CDs are different from the vinyl. Matter of fact, even one of the songs is even missing the entire intro on all the CD versions.
That's weird. I mean, there's a couple of guys here in town in Dallas Fort Worth that still know what they're doing. Kent Stump over at Crystal Clear or Crystal Sound? Crystal Clear Sound. He really, I mean, he has an analog studio, but man, that guy really knows how to get the best out of any instrument and any recording. Obviously, Rob Colwell. I know that Kerry Crafton is, he's got a lot of skins on the wall with Pantera, Devastation, and other bands, and Creeper and MediaTek does a great job over there. But man, just it's not one of those things that just anybody can do. For sure. Well, I mean, anybody can do it, but will it sound as good as it should? And that's the crux.
Well, George mentioned the Ozzy. The funny thing about taking Daisley out of those early albums, he wrote most of that stuff.
Right.
That's the worst part of it,
But, so timeline-wise, so Steve, you're busy, and you've had a few changes in your life, and your feet are starting to hit the ground again. Yeah. So you've got San Antonio, and then you got these shows in September.
Yeah.
So when would you record if you were to actually try and target a recording date?
Well, and that's the thing about the little project I'm doing, the Make 25, is like we get together and we record, right? And that's what I'm trying to instill in Rotting Corpse members, that we just need to. Well, the funny thing I'll tell you is, like, Rotting Corpse usually doesn't practice. Like this Watchtower show, we've not practiced, but we need to practice, and then when we practice, you record. And that's kind of what we've been doing with Make 25. And it's a lot different way to approach it than the old days. Like, you sat there and practiced real hard for like 3 months, and then you go into Pantego and the Eldon looks at you like, what the hell are you guys doing? This sounds like shit. But it's a different kind of thing than going in the studio and getting it. And the nice thing about that is you can record and listen to it the next morning and then go back, that was crap, or that worked, right? And that's how I want to do it, to kind of get a organic sound, because we're old and we don't have the energy to really, slam it against the wall like we used to. But
I'm telling our listeners, I'm going to tell our listeners
everything else, right?
I'm going to tell this to our listeners again. Yes, you're a bunch of old geezers like me. But I'm telling you, they're not missing a step up there on stage. The music is raging. The music is tight. The music is intricate. And it's as good as it's ever been. In fact, because of technology and just experience, it might even sound better than it did back in the 80s.
Hey, so I want to tell this story. Like, Kerry Crafton came up to me after the Rail show, And he's like, dude, it sounded really good. And I'm like, really? I'm like thinking like, dude, you got the ears, you got the professional thing, and you think this stuff sounds good? Like, I think part of it is like we overanalyze it and we think it's got to sound a certain way, but bands a lot of times, or certain people when they come together and you've been playing together for so long, it just kind of muscles kind of happen in a certain way, and I mean, I love, and I think Joey would admit this too. Joey is an amazing drummer with Gamma Side, but when Jamie plays, it's a little different. You know what I mean? And Joey does an amazing job, but it's just something about when you've been playing with people for like 20 or 30 years, it just comes across in a very real way. And I think that's something that Rotting Corpse has. And I think Gamma Side's getting it too. That's what I was saying. Like the later shows I've seen, I've just felt like, man, they're getting back to that Joe's Garage Gamma Side show.
Well, you could probably use the Slayer metaphor for that. Paul Bostoff is an absolute animal. He's a great drummer. He's fantastic, but he's not Dave Lombardo, and there is some feel of a difference. It's not something you can audibly hear, I don't think.
No, it's audibly. You can hear it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
Lombardo's just like, God, he's just like, Walt was doing something with, I'm going to get in trouble for telling these Walt stories, but he was doing something with Rita and helping her with stuff. And she goes, well, can you go pick somebody up? He's like, all right, dude, whatever. So he goes down someplace in California. So he drives down there and picks it up. And Dave Lombardo gets in the car. And Dave kind of noticed Walt was kind of nervous. And he's like, hey, man, is this weird for you? And Walt's like, yeah, it kind of is. He like turns around and fucking Dave Lombardo's right next to him, And what's crazy about that, what I think in my brain is what happens if some drums appeared and a Marshall Stack appeared, like what would happen between Walt and Dave Lombardo? I would pay a fortune to see that. Because,
absolutely.
But anyway, Dave Lombardo's story. So.
Well, we're topping out at about an hour. Do you want to?
Yep, right on. Cool. Is there anything you wanted to add? Anything you wanted to? I mean,
anything you want to promote or other than what you've already said, Steve?
Yeah, I think just you guys, go. We are in Facebook, we're Instagram. Check for shows and stuff from that. And I need to redo the store. Like we have Rotting Corpse stuff, but we also have like Metal Roundtable stuff. And I had to take it down for a little bit because of cost and price and stuff. But I vow to Carcass John to get that all back up there. And we've got the Crypt shirts. When I get it back up, I'll have the Crypt and all that stuff. So go to Space Cadet Jet Distro and check that out. And I promise to start putting stuff back up there.
And a pretty cool Rotting Corpse t-shirt.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. We got the new ones. Plus I have the cover that Carcass did. You can get that too if you want it. I think both are great.
And the second, and what was the one? Your brain is burnt and.
Oh yeah. So the that was actually a big seller for us. Was the what's the pot day?
The 420, the 420 shirt.
Yeah. So Carcass gave me a design with the mushrooms and stuff and the Corpse logo, and we've got that shirt up there too. That's a pretty cool shirt.
And then there's a Mr. T also that Matrixin pained.
Yes, yeah, we've sold a few of those guys. So that's we definitely have the Corpse shirts. So. But I come out to the shows, come up and talk to us because we like. I mean, dude, it really means a lot to us when somebody comes up and says, "I saw you 40 years ago. I saw you play 30 years ago. I saw you play 20 years ago." I mean, it's really kind of cool because we are just IT guys and work on buses and stuff like that. So
you're regular humans, but on stage, you're animals. You're savages. You're
we are
thrashed
superheroes.
Savages.
On stage, equipped by Carcass's artwork.
Fun times. Well, thanks for popping in, Steve. I know you're busy, and we always like having a quality guest on, and you're right in there, and you can join us anytime.
Yes,
I always say you've been on what, 3? This is your third time?
Second or third.
Second or third.
Okay. Last thing is this Saturday, Watchtower the Rail. People come out. Sell the car, whatever you got to do to come out. And
Tony Clem, get in that car and start driving.
Yeah,
you can get here by Saturday, and Steve's got a free ticket waiting for you.
I'll get you if Tony shows up. I'll get it. I'll get his butt in. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Right on.
You heard it
Cool.
here on the Metal Roundtable.
Well, I
Thanks,
guess
guys. Appreciate it.
stick
Thank
around
you,
for a few
Steve.
minutes. But you can find Steve on YouTube at Harmless Rebel 868. You can find him on you can find him everywhere. He's on Facebook and all them kind of different places. Easy to find. Harmless Rebel Steve. You can find John on Instagram at Carcass John R, and you can find him also on
128 DB Rock in the Crypt, and tonight at 10 o'clock, a new episode of Carcass John's Alter Ego. It's all instrumental all the time. I'm going to dedicate that to Robert Redford. No words can describe that he's an American icon, so I did an all instrumental set for him. And oh, by the way, it's Caton from Hyrax's birthday today.
Yes, it is.
Let's shout out that. But anyway, join the 128 DB Rock app is absolutely free. Jump on it, download it, and listen to some great music.
Right on. You can find me on Instagram at No Life to Metal, or you can find me on YouTube, No Life to Metal, Scott Waters. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and all those fun places. But I appreciate everybody that stuck around and watched and was commenting. I didn't put every comment up because you guys look like you were talking back and forth amongst each other, so I just left those alone. So, but nothing wrong with that. So that's what it's here for, man. It's called the Metal Roundtable, so we can all just talk about music. So that was really cool watching some of you guys talking back and forth on the comments. Anyhow, that's it. You guys know how we all end it, right? So for episode number 283, Metal will prevail. And this is where I leave you all hanging.
Oh, sorry.
Still leaving you hanging. And that's it.